Now at 5, work on the future Cornell complex in Joplin's nearing completion. We'll look at the progress so far. Plus,
the Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack begins laying out its case for the public tonight. I'm Natalie Brand with details of who's testifying in the rare primetime hearing.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Officials with Connect 2 Culture say work on the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin is nearing completion. This is KOAM News at 5. We got to look at the facility and the progress so far. Clifford Wirt with Connect 2 Culture says the project is about 85% complete and is on track for an official opening in early November.
Major work being completed obviously on the inside and now starting on the exterior with all of the sidewalks and parking areas and expanding from the building south towards Memorial Hall with the Leggett and Platt Green.
Tonight at 6, we're going to have more on progress at the complex. Organizers for the 4 States Music Festival announced their plans and strategy for the event. The festival will be held at Pitt State in September, being organized by Social House Entertainment, and will feature country music artists including Chase Rice and Parmalee. Organizers say the event will help local businesses.
Really educate the businesses and organizations around the Pittsburgh area and the 4 states area about the economic impact that this event can make, and really getting behind this annual event in the 4 states area.
Organizers also say they hope to make the festival an annual event. Happy birthday, Carthage Chamber of Commerce. A party today marked the Chamber's 90th birthday, complete with cake and other assorted goodies. It also included some award presentations as a celebration of what the Chamber brings to the business community.
So it's very important that we all work together to have a very thriving community, and for us as the Chamber to be able to do that and to be the voice of business, we're happy to be that front runner for our businesses.
The general public was invited to that celebration at Carthage Central Park. Nice day for that event. Let's check in with Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it's turned out to be a pretty good Thursday for us today, but we do have some clouds increasing and you can see some showers, even a few scattered thunderstorms are dropping through southeastern Kansas and eventually into southwestern Missouri as we get through the next couple hours. None of these are too strong, but where you do see the yellows, we are getting some at least moderate rainfall and a little bit stronger once you get back out just to the south of Emporia and then right into Greenwood County. So we're going to watch this. It's going to slowly fall apart, but it will work through as we go into the overnight hours. And then a little bit later on tonight, another batch out across Nebraska, parts of Kansas will start to head toward us and really affect us late tonight. So we have this evening band, a late band. Of course, we're going to break it down for you here in just a bit.
See you then. House lawmakers today approved a red flag law designed to keep guns away from people considered a danger to themselves or others. It came just a day after the House passed a separate package of gun restrictions, including raising the purchasing age for semi-automatic weapons to 21. However, neither bill is expected to make it past the Senate, which is working on its own bipartisan bill. American troops are testing new remote-controlled weapons in Europe as war rages in Ukraine. At a military base in Germany, U.S. forces showed off robotic vehicles designed for reconnaissance and to reduce threats to soldiers on the battlefield. U.S. troops are on guard in case Russia invades NATO allies in that region. Tonight, the House January 6th committee goes prime time with the first of several new public hearings to lay out findings from its investigation into the U.S. Capitol assault. Meanwhile, House Republicans are calling it a, quote, political circus, and they've announced an investigation into the committee itself. Reporter Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with more.
Almost a year and a half after mobs of demonstrators violently stormed the U.S. Capitol, the special committee investigating the attack will begin laying out its case.
They have been hard at work doing their patriotic duty to seek the truth.
The committee has completed more than 1,000 interviews and gathered over 140,000 records in the lead up to tonight's hearing, which will feature testimony from British documentarian Nick Quested, who was embedded with the right-wing extremist group the Proud Boys on January 6th. Also testifying is U.S. Capitol Police Officer Carolyn Edwards, who suffered a traumatic brain injury during the attack.
I almost lost my life.
Sergeant Aquilino Gonell says he has an obligation to be in the room.
My colleagues, some of them, they were hurt, injured, more than 140. 5 of them already perished.
Speaker Pelosi put 2 Republicans on the 9-member committee, but House GOP leaders call the panel illegitimate and say they're working on an alternative report.
It's a political-driven committee.
So far, top House Republican Kevin McCarthy and several other GOP lawmakers have refused to cooperate with the committee's investigation. 4 top former Trump administration aides have been held in contempt of Congress. 2 of them, Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, are awaiting criminal prosecution. Meanwhile, federal law enforcement have made more than 800 arrests in connection to the assault, including Michigan GOP candidate for governor Ryan Kelly, arrested this morning on misdemeanor charges. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Politico reports former Vice President Pence's attorney is now scheduled to testify before the January 6th committee next week. You can watch tonight's hearing live right here on KOAM. That coverage begins at 7. Still ahead, staying safe behind the wheel.
The systems in today's new cars can help prevent a crash. I'm Elise Preston with new research showing how the technology cannot stop every accident.
And next in Health Watch, how a newly developed gel could be used to repair damage caused by heart attacks. Topping today's Health Watch, new evidence shows some babies born shortly before and during the pandemic may be developmentally behind. According to studies from the JAMA Network, there's an uptick in delays like talking, walking, and interacting. Researchers and physicians say even access to health and childcare and limited exposure to the outside world are factors. In a handful of small studies, children born during the pandemic have scored lower for motor skills and problem solving. A new study published in Cancer Causes and Control finds a link between high fish intake and malignant melanoma. Researchers believe the connection might be due to contaminants present in fish, but they're not recommending any changes in fish consumption at this time. British researchers have created a special gel which could be used to help repair damage caused by heart attacks. Michael George tells us the testing is still early, but it is showing promise.
This is a microscopic view of mice heart cells, still beating and swimming in a gel made of stem cells. These heart cells are healthy, but researchers at the University of Manchester believe the stem cell gel could be used to heal damaged heart tissue following a heart attack.
Once delivered to the heart, it stayed in the heart and it remained there for 2 weeks.
The gel also kept the regenerating stem cells alive and functioning. In the past, surgeons have tried to repair heart tissue by injecting stem cells not encased in gel into the heart, but the cells have not survived.
It's looking like a very promising kind of the way that it would stay there and be able to hold the cells there for long enough for them to kind of integrate into the heart.
The next step for researchers will be to inject the stem cell gel into mice heart cells damaged by a heart attack. If successful, human trials could follow.
In order to get into clinical studies, we have to ensure that the hydrogel itself is compatible with the human body, that the stem cells are produced in a way that is safe and reproducible. It will be a matter of years before this technology can get through into the clinic.
Coronary heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide and in the U.S. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Researchers say the best way to keep a healthy heart is to prevent heart disease in the first place with a healthy diet, exercise, stress management, and avoiding all forms of tobacco. A new analysis published in the Lancet Healthy Longevity suggests testosterone therapy is safe for men in the short to medium term. Researchers found the treatment was not associated with increased risk of cardiovascular events like arrhythmia, heart attack, or stroke. A new report in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine finds binge drinking is a public health concern, even for moderate adult drinkers. Researchers found people who consumed multiple drinks in one night are almost 5 times more likely to experience multiple alcohol problems compared to someone whose total consumption is a daily drink with dinner. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the Biden administration's push to standardize electric vehicle charging stations.
Plus, we got scattered thunderstorms out there once again this evening. We're going to look at that coming up. Not a bad Thursday for us today. We had quite a bit of sunshine earlier in the day, and then the clouds, even a few scattered thunderstorms have been sneaking in over the past couple hours. That's why the clouds have been increasing across the region. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, low severe threat. This is mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, and this is mainly later on tonight. This is going to be for strong storms, possibly low-grade severe, especially 2 a.m. to 7 a.m., but I'm still going to keep all the threats on the low side. But we do have flash flood watch out. We know the ground is super saturated. So southwest Missouri, Kansas, into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. All right, so here's this batch, which has been diving off toward the south and to the east over the past couple hours. The leading edge is kind of falling apart. I think the overall trend is going to be this weekend as it pushes into the metro, but it has flared up a little bit on the backside in our northwestern counties. But this is going to slide south and east, and where you do see the yellow, that is some at least moderate rain. So these are mainly thunder showers. You can see them pushing into Parsons, Independence, Coffeyville, Fredonia, up towards Chanute, Iola, a little shower and thunderstorm. We can track a little bit farther toward the west. So here's Greenwood County, Eureka, and these extend up past the I-35 corridor. So these are going to push through over the next few hours, and then we'll get a break, another batch late tonight. Temperatures mainly upper 70s to lower 80s. Looking outside, you can see those thunderstorms increasing off toward the northwest. 81 winds are pretty much calm. Humidity is at 45%. Through the evening hours, slow drop through the 80s, 70s, eventually into the mid 60s a little bit later on tonight. So we'll get this first batch roll through. Second batch will get going out across northwestern Kansas late tonight and head in. So we just have to deal with this first little band, and then let's go to about 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see showers, thunderstorms increasing on the Kansas side, also northeastern Oklahoma, but it looks like majority of this band will stay just to the west of the metro. So maybe southwestern Missouri, you may get spared from this band later on tonight. But some of these storms may be strong to low grade severe. If we had anything severe, we're talking gusty winds, some large hail, but very heavy amounts of rain pushing through during the morning hours, and then most of this is gone by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. But even in the afternoon, we're going to get some isolated thunderstorms, especially in southwestern Missouri, and then I think by the evening hours, we look pretty good. 64 to start, 74 by noon, high temp, right around 84 degrees. Then we get a chance to dry out. Heading into the weekend, overall is looking pretty good, but the temperatures are going to start to pump up as we go into the upper 80s by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. So that's something we'll have to keep our eyes on. All right, 84 tomorrow, 88 Saturday, 92 on Sunday. We hold into the lower 90s most of next week, but a much drier pattern than what we've been accustomed to over the past 6 weeks.
We're going to need to dry out a bit.
We do, definitely.
Thanks, Doug. Here's a look at our tower camera, sponsored by R.E. Smith Construction. As work continues on the KOAM More Power project, you can check it out anytime on our website. It's KOAMnewsnow.com/power. Coming up, what new research shows about the effectiveness of self-driving car safety features. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Don Woldridge served in the U.S. Navy from 1951 to 55. The Edna, Kansas native was stationed in Korea, and we salute Radioman Seaman Don Woldridge, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Biden administration wants to standardize electric vehicle charging for the network of charging stations it's pledged to fund. Its new proposed rule would require that 500,000 stations it's funding be interoperable, just like how a gas pump works with any gas vehicle. Currently, the electric vehicle world uses 3 charging stations. About $5 billion is going to states to build the network along America's highways. A lot of new cars are equipped with some self-driving technology, and while we might someday have fully autonomous vehicles, safety experts are quick to point out that we are not there yet. Reporter Elise Preston explains.
First few minutes of my drive.
Andy Sly owns a Tesla and highlights the vehicle's technology on his YouTube channel.
Tap down twice to enable autopilot.
One of his favorite features is autopilot, which allows the car to accelerate, brake, and steer on its own.
It gives you extra set of eyes and more peace of mind. And from the 4 years I've been using it, I mean, it has completely changed the way I drive.
The car's technology even helped him avoid an accident with a tractor trailer.
Autopilot actually hit the brakes, so could have been bad, and luckily I had autopilot enabled at that time.
Autopilot requires drivers to keep a hand on the wheel, and Sly's vehicle has a camera to make sure his eyes are on the road. But AAA wanted to see what happens when the driver doesn't take control. Researchers tested 3 models with semi-autonomous features. In 15 test runs when the vehicle followed a dummy bike rider, no accidents occurred. But when the bike crossed traffic, the cars hit the bike in 1/3 of tests. The vehicles also performed poorly when faced with a head-on collision every time there was an accident. Only 1 model slowed down before making impact.
We are not at fully autonomous yet, and I think a lot of consumers are confused and think that when they have these systems that the vehicle can drive itself, and that's just not the case.
Megan McKernan with AAA says the technology continues to improve and can save lives, but is not foolproof.
Never rely on these systems. They are meant to help assist, but they are never meant to replace an attentive driver.
That's why most new semi-autonomous vehicles have sensors forcing drivers to keep a hand on the wheel or a camera to make sure eyes are on the road and paying attention. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
One of the world's largest producers in the Asian hot sauce market is anticipating a major shortage of sriracha. Huifeng Foods says severe weather conditions affected the quality of its chili peppers, and their current inventory does not meet the demand. The company announced it's not accepting new orders for its signature sriracha hot chili sauce placed before September, and orders already made before Labor Day will have to wait until the fall to be fulfilled. Wall Street's woes really hurt Main Street's wallets earlier this year. According to new data from the Federal Reserve Bank, Americans' wealth took a nosedive in the first quarter of 2022. Households and nonprofit organizations saw their net worth drop $500 billion. At the same time, stocks experienced steep drops and corporate equities saw $3 trillion slashed from their value. It was the worst quarterly performance for the market since the first quarter of 2020. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, how a nonprofit is trying to break the cycle of homelessness for millions of American youths. Then on KOAM News at 6, a local university provides training for its staff on what to do if an active shooter is on campus. Plus, we're going to have more on the progress of construction at the future Cornell complex in Joplin. And a Southwest Missouri city receives the lowest rating possible from a state audit. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge. You'll find it in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. All you have to do is search for KOAM News app. Weather not bad at the moment. Rain chances ahead, though.
Yeah, we're going to get some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there through the evening hours. Another batch late tonight into tomorrow morning, even a few additional ones popping up tomorrow afternoon on the Missouri side. But the weekend overall looks pretty good. 88 Saturday, 92 by Sunday and a much drier trend over the next week.
That's a trend we need at the moment. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.